good morning or afternoon, depending on what time you are listening to this podcast, and welcome to yet another episode of Do Geese Have Udders, the show where we ask the unanswered and answer the unasked, looking at news and online stuff too. I'm Michael Gooch, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend Matthew Thompson. You right, Matt?
He's got lady hands.
Good. Then let's start the show. So hello, welcome to yet another episode, and Matt, something special about today's episodes?
I haven't heard this show called Matt.
No, the intro's been and gone.
No, it's not intro now.
People are aware of the show. We've done this for almost a year, actually, mate. It's almost our year anniversary of the show. We're going to have to do something special for that.
You've only fit 30 episodes into a year. It's proper depressing,
okay, well,
isn't
to
it?
be fair, the first one. This is Will. Will's on the show. Hey, yes.
I've been on it before, you know.
Cheers, Matt. Thanks. No way I'm going to be able to edit that out. But yeah, Will, you have been on the show before.
Yeah, I have.
You have actually been the I don't know how to phrase this at all. Will's been the most reoccurring guest, I think is the best way to put it. Yeah. Will's been a guest. Yeah. He's been on more episodes than any other guests we've had previously.
Of course I have, because I'm better than everyone else.
Jesus. He lives at the studio.
Well, I mean, he kind of did last week, didn't we, Matt?
Yeah, but Will, do you want to explain what happened last week? I think
no.
you could put into perfect words.
On the scale from messing everything up to not messing everything up, Mick royally messed everything up.
Okay, well, I mean, in all fairness,
It did.
all that had happened was...
she messed up. She messed it up.
we recorded...
You messed it up entirely.
We
Yeah,
recorded a
shush,
good hour's
shush.
worth of content.
It's an hour and a half at least.
And it was an hour and 10 minutes. I got home, I was like, let me start editing the footage, and realised that that the mics weren't exactly recording from the mics. They were recording from the laptop instead, and the sound quality sounded awful. And yeah, that was a real blow for us, I think. I had a good cry in the corner for a
Did
while.
you just put that in your mouth?
No, it hit my finger and bounced off.
What did you chuck at him?
I threw a screw at him. And it hit his finger. And I thought he put it in his mouth.
No, he bounced and hit my
Oh,
crotch.
someone's throwing stuff at me. It must be edible.
Ah!
Stop flicking nails.
God. Hey, round two.
Ow.
I heard that.
What was that?
That's a bit of plastic.
So, Will, last week, on the last episode, I was actually talking to Matt about something before I was rudely cut off by the rain to do with Total Wipeout and other physical game shows. Do you like physical game shows like Total Wipeout, Takeshi's Castle, Will?
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite?
Total Wipeout's quite fun.
Cool. Do you want to do Total Wipeout?
Not really.
Oh, well, all right.
Looks like it'll hurt.
Well, that's fantastic. Good. I'm glad you said that, because, Matt, what I was actually going to talk to you about when I mentioned it on the previous episode was you always see all these people getting injured on Total Wipeout and Takeshi's Castle and all that, but we never actually hear about them. And the big one I was looking at was Total Wipeout at the time, because we often heard about these celebrities getting injured. You know, they might have had the odd broken arm or something like that, but I couldn't find a chart for it, and that really annoyed me. I wanted to see figures and numbers since the series began to when it ended, but I have found Takeshi's Castle and their stats for injuries. Because, I mean, do you want to describe Takeshi's Castle, Matt, for anyone that hasn't seen it?
Oh, finally a question.
I haven't seen it. I actually don't
You've never
know
seen
what it is.
Takeshi's Castle?
No, don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
like Total Wipeout, but you can definitely tell they get more injured because there's no water to fall on.
Oh, quality.
It's not a UK show, though, is it, if I remember
Well,
correctly?
nah, because they would sue. Even the Total Wipeout's not made in the UK.
Well, it's shot in Argentina, I think.
That's why I said.
But yeah, Takeshi's Castle is like Total Wipeout, just with a lot more pain and less padding and a lot less water.
And less English.
And less English. But, well, I mean, the voiceover was English, the narrator was English. But you can at least then confirm that people did look like they got injured on that show.
Well, people got stuck between a massive ball and a wall a couple of times. That's how I could see an arm breaking or a leg.
Well, do you want me to read you some stats, Matt, for
No.
Takeshi's Castle? Oh,
I'm joking. Hit me.
So Takeshi's Castle, although they have apparently said there have been no reported casualties resulted from the making of Takeshi's Castle, there are
Lies.
There are plenty of injuries contestants have suffered from playing. And so reading on onto the list. I mean, it does sound like I would count these as casualties, but you can be the judge of that. So, broken ribs, total of 41. 19 broken jaws. 312 bruised chins.
Bruised chin is not a wound.
Well, I mean, it
Depends how bad it is.
Well, what about
So your whole
280,
chin comes off.
282 bruised shins?
So, did you say if your chin comes off? If your chin comes off, that's not a bruise.
What if it gets bruised when the chin's over there?
Well, it doesn't matter.
But it's bruised.
So you're saying if you lost your chin and then it bruised?
Yeah, you lost your arm. Oh, it's just a flesh wound. But if it's a little bruise, you're like, oh, I bruised my arm.
It's not like an apple falling from a tree. It's not fine up there and then when it hits the ground, oh, it's bruised. That means it was bruised previously.
Yeah.
Carrying on, 9 people have been knocked out on Takeshi's Castle.
is that
That's
it?
not a wound. That's just something that happens.
Okay, what about the 35 people who got concussed?
Yeah, that's a wound. Yeah, that counts.
276 people were winded.
No.
It's not really a wound.
No.
I mean, you would come away and say I was winded from something.
Yeah, but winded and wounded are two different words.
Okay, what about 62 torn muscles?
Yeah, so,
That's kind of a wound.
yeah, I wouldn't like that.
That's an injury. That's a sports injury, isn't it?
112 black eyes.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And 2 fractured skulls.
2 fractured
Rah.
skulls.
I bet that's from the stepping stone one. I bet that's where the broken ribs came from. You know the stepping stone.
I mean, it just amazes me because clearly, though, that's not everyone, but more than likely, some of them are more than one person. No, some of them are more. Yeah, some of them are the same person.
Yeah, fractured skull and a bruised cheek. Very common injuries to happen at the same time.
And so my question then goes to Matt again because Will hasn't seen Takeshi's Castle. Matt, are you still interested in going on Takeshi's Castle?
I think I remember this. I'd rather go on Total Wipeout than Takeshi's Castle.
Because you're less likely to be injured?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fall in water, not into stone.
It probably was just rocks underneath everything. I bet all the foam padding wasn't even foam padding. That was just the ground. But yeah, so that is one reason apparently why Takeshi's Castle and Total Wipeout aren't made anymore. Is because of people kept getting injured. And so if you happen to be on one of those shows, do let us know. And we'd love to hear about your injuries and whether Will thinks they are in fact an injury.
Probably not.
I stubbed my toe.
That's not an injury.
Will, one thing that I've noticed, again, now this is about Matt, but you still wanted to hear it, is to do with something, again, which we spoke about in a previous episode. And we were talking about, I think you said America has everything. And then I said, well, America uses everything but the metric system. Like, they'll use... I've seen someone in America make a banana ruler, and it says things this length are 1 banana, things this length are 2 banana. They'll use anything but the metric system. And then it occurred to me, Matt might be American.
I'm not.
Because, yeah, but Matt, you don't understand. You don't use the metric system. And at least 3 occasions so far in this show, you've measured things in double-decker buses.
And your point is?
You don't use normal measurements.
Okay.
You said things like this are, I was like, maybe 1 or 2 double-decker buses.
So, do you know how long a metre is? Can you visualise how long a metre is?
I think Matt taught me, wasn't it? Wasn't it actually if you outstretch your arm, it's
like
from
that.
the tip of your finger to your nipple?
No,
I think, isn't
it's
it?
Yes,
Actually,
except
it's
different
there.
people are different sizes, so that's not going to work.
Well,
is
that's
it?
what
You
Matt
use-
That's what you do on sites and stuff like that. Literally, everyone just goes.
To give a rough idea.
And
of the
a
meter.
step is also a meter. But then everyone has different step things. But
Yeah. So the reason why people use different things, we use it at work occasionally when we need to, when we're talking to someone and we're like, right, how far away was it? Because you can go, oh, that was roughly 20 metres or roughly 30 metres, but very few people have an idea of how long 20 or 30 metres is. It's a lot easier to go, oh, yeah, it's about the length of a double-decker bus. Which is why we were trying to work out how long the room was the other day, and we got views from 10 to 30 metres long. And we were like, well, let's think about this in terms of things we know. We know our mate Ali is 2 metres tall.
It's 20 metres
How many of
tall.
him lying on the floor? Probably about 8. Okay, so it's about 16 metres.
Yeah.
Breaking it down makes it a lot easier to do.
Well, that's interesting of where then does... No, again, you're going to hate this, but then where do measurements like the metric system then become useless? As if we're measuring them things by things we know.
Because we actually need to know exactly how far some things are, so we need a standard system.
And you have to install stuff.
It's
Which one does the Americans use?
the Imperial, which is very ironic.
And why is that ironic?
because I mean it's not, because they're an imperial power, and if anyone says otherwise, you can fight me.
Will.
Yeah.
We know, or Matt and I know at least 2 people called Will.
Correct.
Uh,
I thought you just know 2 people.
Yeah, well, Matt and I know at least 2 people, and that's you and Darius. And
Darius is not called Will.
I presume you know more than one Michael?
I
I don't only know one Michael.
Oh, I feel very good now.
don't know actually.
Okay, well, we at least know many Matts.
Oh, loads of that.
Too many Matts in the world.
It's very
And
nice.
someone happened to write this online somewhere, and I thought it interesting. I thought it's stupid, but I thought it interesting. Is we find loads of people in the world that have the same name.
Yeah.
Names like John Smith or Matt Smith, I guess, as well. Anything Smith, really. There's a lot of them.
Well, only in England.
That's
well,
because
only in
blacksmith was. That's what Smiths were. They were blacksmiths, weren't they?
Well,
Yeah.
Smith just means someone that works. So on something. So you could have a. I mean, there's lots of specific names. But yeah, blacksmith. You could have a wheelsmith, armoursmith, swordsmith,
Woodsmith.
woodsmith. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these have their own specific names. So woodsmith is otherwise known as a carpenter. A barrel smith is known as a cooper. A cart smith is known as a cartwrighter. But yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, that's interesting. That's another interesting little thing. And so someone's put online just saying, we find so many people that have the same names as us, even if it's just the same first name or if they have the same full name as us. One way we could have avoided that would be imagine the world where everybody's name was like their usernames online, of where they had to be so unique that nobody had the same one.
No.
I was going to say, do you think that the world would be a better place or a far worse place?
Significantly worse.
Why is that?
Why do you need to have a unique name?
For that reason.
What are the chances that you're going to know someone with exactly the same name as you? We know a lot of Matts.
Yep.
But we know they've all got different surnames.
Yeah, but if I typed in Matt Thompson online, I have a strong feeling there'd be more Matt Thompsons than just his face.
Well, yeah, of course it would. But
Yeah, whereas if he
why,
had his own
why does
unique
that matter?
name, well, it's just something interesting.
Is this
Will,
a personal
to
attack?
consider? No, yeah.
I,
We only want you to be the only Matt Thompson in the world, is what it is, Matt.
Alright, let's kill them all.
I think it would just make absolutely no sense, and there's no reason for it, because the chances of you being close enough friends that it's going to have a problem with 2 people that are A, have the same name, but B, have the same personalities and look the same. Because how many times big Matt, little Matt, blonde Matt, skinny Matt.
It's funny enough you said that. Well, I mean, but we always have to do that though, don't we? Like, I mean, when I'm talking to my parents, like at one point I say, I'm going to go and see Will. They will say, which one's that? And so I'll say, blonde Will or cadet Will.
Well, yeah. So,
Whereas if you had your own username,
yeah. So if his name was Matt123, would we describe him as Matt123?
No, someone else
No,
would have
that
taken
would
it.
just be
Someone else would have taken it.
that would Matt 321.
I can't have a name as anyone else.
Exactly.
We
So
would
that way, then
start
we would know which one he is.
And you don't
devolving nicknames anyway.
You wouldn't name yourself. Your parents would.
Yeah.
We devolve nicknames anyway from people, and nicknames are only used when it makes more sense than their name.
Yeah. If I said to my parents, I'm going to go see Matthew Asterisk 123 Thompson 321, they'd know who
At
I'm talking
Hotmail.
about.
Yeah.
At Hotmail.
Yeah.
They'd know who I'm going to go and see.
But how long does that take compared to saying I'm going to go and see Thompson, which is why we have.
But I might know more than one Thompson.
Yeah, but do you?
That's irrelevant.
No, you don't. But if you did, the context is also massively important. If you are wearing camping stuff and saying I'm going to go and see Thompson, and your other person that you know, and you don't know another person called Thompson, but the other person you know called Thompson is from uni, they're not going to go, oh, you're going camping with the uni person, rather than you're going camping with a person at Scouts. Context makes such a big difference.
Well, it was one thing you said a second ago about the odds of you running into the person with the same name as you. Is there was an article I read about, what on earth was that?
I broke my pencil.
Oh, I found it.
There was an article I happened
no
to
doubt
read
there.
this morning
Yeet!
of where this
That made such a good noise.
where this policeman, Matt, on the ding,
On the ding! I forgot what it was.
on the ding, proceeds to clap.
Ding dong.
Do you want to ding again?
that's
It's
visual,
close
there you
enough.
On the ding!
How many nails have you got?
Screws. That sounded corny.
Oh my god, we're gonna be here all day. Will, stop going through all the nails.
Oh!
What did he do? I wasn't looking. Do it again. What did he do? Explain what he did.
He threw it, it hit someone and hit him again.
Ah, silly boy.
Will, are you injured?
I threw it at the bottom and it just bounced back and hit me in the mouth.
Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. Don't forget to give that follow or subscribe button a click so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And why not check out our Twitter and Discord too, where we post updates, behind the scenes stuff and just general other news about the show. Links in the description below. Got any topics or questions you think need a proper answer or have yet to even be asked? Drop it in the comments below or send us a tweet. Until next time.